Hello again and welcome to another Warhammer 40k Imperial Guard video. So there's another Warhammer 40k tournament coming up near me and it is an interesting one to say the least. So I thought I'd do a video today about what list I'm thinking of taking to the tournament, get some feedback from you guys, but also to go over what's going to be the tournament itself as well. But I'm also open to new ideas. I'm not settled on this list, and I am hoping someone will come up with a bit of inspiration, some ideas. Because obviously 8th edition has been out a few weeks now. The last one I went to was at the beginning when it first came out, so things may have changed that I'm not 100% aware of in my local meta. This is it's another sort of international tournament. There will be people from all over the UK, and there will be people coming from outside of the UK as well. Not sure on the full details yet, but what I know is that it's a team tournament, and interestingly, it's teams of 3. So what they've done is it's quite interesting. It's a doubles tournament and a singles tournament at the same time. It's hard to explain, but basically, you will be in a team of 3, or I will be in a team of 3, and it will alternate where one game I will be in a doubles tournament and I'll be a doubles game and I'll have a 1,000-point list and my ally will have a 1,000-point list, and then the next game it'll be a standalone game and I'll be in a 2,000-point game, and then I'll go back to being a doubles, and then I'll go back to being in a single environment. So the basic stipulation is that your 2,000-point list must be an extension of your 1,000-point list. So you can't take 2 completely separate lists. Essentially, you must come up with an 1,000-point list, and then when you play your 2,000-point list, you must add an additional 1,000 points onto that 1,000-point list. But you must keep all your original units from your 1,000-point list. Does that make sense? So it's more of like you escalate up, but you keep the same force, then you go back down again, and then you escalate up and keep the same force. Hopefully that makes sense. So there's going to be, I don't know the full details here, but I do know that there's going to be points awarded for team fluff. So people can't just turn up with the 3 top armies if they don't make sense. So you can't really have like Space Marines, Necrons, and Tyranids all fighting together. How would you justify that in the fluff? I'm expecting some inevitable Blood Angel, Necron, best buddy quotes here, but how would you justify that? So, you could have Tyranids, Genestealer Cult, and Imperial Guard, for example, because it would represent, the cult having infiltrated the world, taken over the local forces, and and everyone's fighting alongside the Tyranids, who are the invaders. That would make sense. Obviously, it's very easy to get 3 Imperial factions to line up with each other. All the Eldar factions can line up with each other. If you can mix. You could have like Imperium fighting alongside Eldar. You could even have Imperium fighting alongside Dark Eldar. And the Dark Eldar are like mercenaries that have been paid. The Imperium have said, look, you can keep all the enemy captives you want, just don't take us. Fluff, as long as you can justify it in a cool, fluffy way, but that still fits in the 40k universe, that's fine. A really interesting one that I've seen one team come up with already is like Tau, Imperium, and Genestealer Cult. And how the fluff they're going for is the Genestealer Cult has obviously infiltrated and taken over the Imperium forces, and the Imperium forces are pretending to be, Gulvesa for the Tau, but really the Genestealer Cult are just interested in spreading their way into the Tau Empire. To a Tau, can't really tell the difference between a normal human and a fucked up human. We all look the same to them. So yeah, so got to have a fluff justification. My team shouldn't have any problems. But look, I've got a Space Marine player who's going to be taking about 12 Dreadnoughts because he just loves Dreadnoughts. I've got Blood Angels player who you've seen play on the channel plenty of times, who loves his Assault Cannons. That's going to be me with Guards. So that's going to be a fairly easy Imperium a fairly easy Imperial army to put together. It could be something along the lines of we're all defending Baal, you know, Imperial Guard helping to defend the space, helping to defend the Baal from the Tyranids, and you know, Space Marines have all, you know, other chapters, successive chapters have turned up as well. It's all possible. Likewise, it could be a, you know, Imperial Guard have sent out aid, and these two Space Marine chapters have responded. Our fluff is pretty easy to justify, so that's not a problem. Painting points are also going to be awarded, so that's why I was thinking of using my Black Templars, but I've got until September to get 2,000 points of Black Templars painted up. I'm not sure I'll be able to do that, whereas my Imperial Guard are ready to go. So probably going to end up using Guard, and you know, Guard are just more competitive. But anyway, so that's sort of, you know, that's how the missions work. That's sort of the style of the tournament. So what was I thinking of for my list? Well, guys, it's going to be a little boring if I'm going to be honest. But I was thinking of taking my I want to call it like my IKEA list. It's a bit of a weird, like I call it my snap fit list, or my module list. Module list is probably, or modular list. That's what I call it, the modular list. I'm trying to think of the name for it. So basically, you know, the last team tournament I went to with the 1,500 point singles tournament, which I ended up coming, doubles tournament, sorry, which I ended up coming second in. Not doubles, team tournament, sorry. I did a list which was 3 500 point lists mashed together. So I took 3 battalions. Each battalion had 30 conscripts, 2 infantry squads, officer, commissar, and a tank commander. I'm just thinking of doing that again, but just taking an extra 500 point module. Just scaling it up. Because the crazy thing would be is that list, it scales so well, because it means at 2,000 points, I'm running 200 infantry and 4 tanks. That is a lot for my enemy to deal with. And it's not like it's all conscripts either. It's 120 conscripts. And then we've got 80 guardsmen and 4 Lehman Russes providing the fire support. It's pretty good. It also makes it very easy for me to come up with my 1,000 point list as well, which is I just take 2 of these modules. I still have 100 guardsmen, which is pretty insane. 100 guardsmen, 2 Lehman Russes, 2 tank commanders. It's pretty nuts. Don't forget, I will be backed up by, you know, either like 12 dreadnoughts or you know, a lot of blood angels. So I kind of think that's the easy option. However, it's a little boring. I normally like to spend days and weeks formulating, fermenting, distilling the sort of my list for a tournament. I normally like to take a long time. I'm not so sure how I feel about just applying this set formula. It seems a little bit too easy, and maybe things have come out where, you know, you guys may have noticed something where it's like, no, don't take that list, you'll just get stomped. I'd like to know what you guys, you know, would that list do well, you know? 120 conscripts, 80 infantry, 4 commissars, 4 company commanders, 4 Lehman Russ tanks. That's the list. Don't forget Pasca's in there. Lehman Russes are all going to have battle cannon, las cannon, and 2 heavy bolters. Just standard classic format. Every infantry squad is going to have plasma gun, plasma pistol, heavy bolter. You know, I can do all that easy peasy. Another list I was thinking of running, but I don't know how I would scale it for. I don't know how it would scale for 2,000 points, but I was thinking of running my Scions list. I guess I have about 70 odd Scions I could take, and Tauroxes, and you know, it's more my Arbites list because I have Space Marine Scouts in Landspeeder Storms in there as well. So that's an interesting list. Basically, what that list consists of, my 2,000 point Arbites list, which I probably could scale down. I could easily scale to 1,000 points pretty easily. What that list is, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. It's 3 units of scouts with shotguns in 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 Land Speed of Storms. And then I also have 10-man Scion squad just with las guns, 3 5-man Flamer squad, hotshot volley gun squad, 5-man grenade launcher squad, 5-man melter gun squad, and then I've got 2 quad plasma gun drop Scion command squads, 1 quad melter Scion squad, and then I've got another, I think it's either 5 or a 10-man drop, just 10 hotshot lasgun squad. Yeah, I think that's about right. And just enough, about 3 or 4 Tempesta primes, and 3 Torx primes as well. And I forgot to mention 10 scout bikes and a Space Marine Captain bike. That's a bit of a mix. That's meant to be a really hard-hitting, fast-moving, punchy list. Scaling that down to 1,000 points, it's interesting, but basically the scouts on one side with maybe like 20 Scions are 1,000 points, and the other like 50 odd Scions are another 1,000 points. So the army does actually split very neatly down the middle. So I could do that. Interested. Or if I get my Black Templars painted up in time, I could easily take a Black Templar list. And my Black Templar list, what I was thinking of running it as was 1,000 points and then just duplicate it. So I was thinking of taking, for my 1,000 points, it would be what I've been running so far with some pretty good success, which is Land Raider Crusader with 2 7-man Crusader squads in there. Each Crusader squad's got 5 initiates and 2 neophytes, a power sword, 2 power swords, sorry, and then there's 2 flamers and a flamer, combi flamer, and melter, combi melter, and then the Emperor's Champion and a chaplain, and take all that and put it in the Land Raider Crusader. And then also I have 2 foot slogging 10-man squads, both with one with Lightning Claws plasma gun, one with combi melter plasma gun. So take that, and then so that's like, what, 50 Marines, roughly? About 50 Marines, plus a Land Raider, and then, well, it's slightly less than it, it's 46 Marines. And then basically just double that, so I'd have 80 odd Marines and 2 Land Raider Crusaders. That's kind of my thinking. Or just have, nuts, just go nuts and be like, yo, here's my Black Tide. I've got 50 Marines at 100 points. 1,000 points and 100 Marines plus 2,000 points. Don't know how competitive that would be. But going back to the Guard, I think, if I'm going to be honest, I think the modular list is the best idea. I honestly do. It's simple, it's easy, it would work well at any points level. Because still at 2,000 points, 100 Guardsmen is enough. Because remember, if I'm doing 1,000 points, I'm taking on... I may have an ally, but I'm only going to have 100 Guardsmen to be dealing with 2,000 points worth of enemies. So, there's always that to consider. But I think 100 Guardsmen still is plenty enough for a lot of 2,000 point lists to be dealing with. I think honestly that list is the best one. It just comes across a little boring to me, a little bland, a little spammy, maybe. I don't know. But it probably is the most powerful. So tell me what you guys think. If you guys have had any success with a particular unit at 2,000 points, or a particular list at 2,000 points, I would be very, very interested for you to hear about it. So please put that in the comments. And if you guys have know anything that I don't know, or are like, yo, don't bother with Lehman Russes, they're trash, take, Hellhounds or something. If you've got an example like that, I'm interested to know. And honestly, if you guys think, yeah, that's a pretty solid list, if you can do that, go for it. If you guys think that, let me know. I want to know your feedback. We did this last time, you see, when I went to the last tournament. I did this last time, and you guys gave me some absolutely invaluable feedback. And I honestly think I did as well as I did in that last tournament because of your guys' feedback. Because this is the last thing I'm going to say, I have a bit of a curse when it comes to tournaments where I will be working on a list, and then a sudden stab of madness / inspiration will hit me, I will write up a list that I've never used before but I think is really interesting, and then because I'm excited about that list I end up submitting it to the tournament, and then the tournament comes around and I'm like, shit, I had no practice games with this list. So I'm just saying, that's what we have to, that's the curse I have. I want you guys to tell me go with the modular list or tell me no. So use your Scion list, use your Arbite list, that's good. Or if you guys have got any other lists that I can try out and practice with, that would be great. So, thank you guys. I hope you get lots and lots of comments, and I'll see you guys next time.